With the NCAA season about to come to a close, I wanted to give you guys something really nice that you could use for the rest of the year. I know there's some of you guys who do play NCAA all year long, but unfortunately, when Madden comes out, we know NCAA for most people really never gets played again. Now, don't get me wrong, I still do have some stuff saved on my computer that I'm going to put out here and there throughout the year so that we don't leave you guys completely dry. Now, this scheme is extremely simple, but it's also extremely effective. The video is as long as it is because more than any other tip video I've done ever, I really think you guys need to see this in action in order to believe that it actually works. And there's a ton of clips because you guys need to see that no matter who my opponent is, it just works over and over and over. The entire thing almost doesn't even make sense. There's really no logical reason for it to be as effective as it is, but it just is. So there's 4 main passing plays with an extra one that I like to throw in from time to time, and all we're going to do is take advantage of only just a few routes while running this scheme almost the same way all game long. Now this is where you need to really pay attention. Formation audibles are important. We want to make sure that we have access to all of the plays that we're going to talk about. So if for whatever reason you can't get the formation audibles right, just add these plays that I have in my strong close and you should be good to go. So these 3 plays, these 3, these 3, and these 3. That should be 12 total, and then your formation audibles should be exactly like mine. You're going to come out in wide receiver out every single time, and then we're going to talk about audibles here in a minute. We also want ace jumbo heavy. We want to have the play halfback smash, and we want to have the play tight end corners. I showed a scheme for jumbo heavy earlier in the year. I'll put a link in the description. We need the formation pistol weak twins. This is another play that I covered earlier in the year. Tight end drag. We also want to make sure that we have lead read option. So, as I mentioned, we're going to come out in the play wide receiver out every single time. Then our audibles, are going to need to be halfback off tackle from strong close, counter weak from strong close. The run audible down is the halfback dive up the middle, so those are our 3 run plays. We need Y trail in our audibles. Our formation audible to the right is stutter goes. This is the play that started everything for me. I started using it, and I really like this play, the R&B route. The audible to the left is this play action play that we're going to cancel the play action, and this is just another effective play. Another audible is tight end corners. This is a play we're going to quick snap. You're going to see that in the video. And then finally the last audible is the run play, just as a mix-up, even though we're just going to throw this in from time to time. Now, when we're running the hurry-up offense, everything is based on personnel this year. So when we're running the hurry-up offense, we just press to the left once, and pistol weak twins tight end drag is a play that we can access while coming out in strong close, running the hurry up, and getting to that play. Those last 2 minutes that I just talked about are very important. Make sure that you get everything about that right. Now I'm just going to do voiceover for the gameplay footage, explain to you how everything works. It's very effective, and I hope you guys enjoy. Now for the next few minutes, you're only going to see 2 things. But no matter how repetitive we get, I urge you as the viewer to continue watching because I'm showing this over and over for a reason. This entire scheme works for 4 reasons. 1, we have a fast quarterback that we can take off with, and there are plenty of fast quarterbacks in NCAA football. Number 2, no matter what play we call, we can always put the fullback on a wheel route to the right. Halfback wheels, on the other hand, will only go to the wide side of the field. But in strong close, because of the fullback being lined up on the right, the wheel is always going to go to that side. And number 3, while rolling out in NCAA 14, no matter who our quarterback is, he is going to have the most accurate passes you've ever seen. And finally, number 4, defense this year sucks. When we roll out, defenders will chase the quarterback rather than maintaining their assignment, leaving wide receivers and the fullback wide open for easy catches. Now, also, if we try and run with our quarterback and all of a sudden a defender is in our face, getting rid of the ball is way too easy, and it's on target every single time. On each and every play, 3 things will allow us to have success. The 1 wide receiver route, a wide open fullback or running back, or taking off with our quarterback for easy yards. Now our opponent will adjust and things will potentially get harder to do, but in that process they will have to over pursue, over adjust, overcompensate, and when they do, we'll attack them using the same strategy to the opposite side of the field they overcompensated for. Or, as you'll see later in the video, we'll just throw 2 other simple plays at them in a blink of an eye, leaving them helpless. Now, putting a halfback on a wheel route to the opposite side, or even flipping the play, is going to allow us to roll out to the left and hit wheels to the left side as well. Doing this is going to allow us to start taking advantage of other routes, and our opponent, never knowing what side we plan on rolling out to or what routes we plan on hitting, on any given play, will be a total headache. Oh, and did I mention that by doing this, we'll never get touched by an A-gap nano, despite running an under-center offense. Here's an example of how effective A-gap heat is. You know, I kind of stumbled onto this scheme when I was in practice mode, trying to replicate the QB draw that I showed you guys in Madden 12 that was absolutely dominant. I discovered that in Madden 12 initially in strong close as well, but after only a couple minutes of seeing if it was possible this year, I quickly found out that it wasn't going to happen, and during that process I just started messing around out of boredom with no real goal, and started noticing that as long as I didn't run in circles and use the same rollout technique, the ball always got to the player I was trying to throw to. Accuracy was perfect. I thought for sure, though, it was just a product of practice mode and it wouldn't really translate to a real game with players making adjustments and stuff like that, but I soon realized that quarterbacks just don't miss throws. Even in games, I could roll out with my quarterback all day long, and if the defense was ever in position to stop me from running with my quarterback, I could easily just dump it off, and not just to the fullback, but to the wide receivers and tight ends as well, with perfect accuracy. At first I thought, you know, maybe this is just the type of defense I'm facing, or maybe my opponent wasn't very good, so started using it against players I knew were good, and it just kept working despite being the most simple thing ever. Then the wheels started turning in my head. I started thinking, you know, if my quarterback is going to throw the ball this accurate and I can take off and run, I should try flexbone, or maybe the jumbo heavy scheme I showed earlier in the year, or some other formation that I can really take advantage of this with. Tried it, didn't work. Different formations, different ideas, none of them worked the way strong close did. And like I said, we can run the QB draw over and over, and as soon as a defender gets in our face for a sure tackle, we can easily throw a 100% accurate pass to a wide open player. The 2 wide receiver routes in the play double stutter go is really effective. All you need to do is get the timing down in practice mode. And even when it looks like he's covered in man defense or man press, once you get the timing down in practice, these are easy completions. It's almost like a shake route. When we throw him the ball when he makes his double move, he's going to make the adjustment for the catch. Now, I do prefer to run it to the right side of the field. It is a more effective route, but against zone, it's easy as well. If you see he's open by a few steps, just throw him the ball. The pass is going to be perfectly thrown every single time. And oh, just for fun, we can hit the tight end route as well. In the play wide receiver out, which is the play we're going to come out in every play, the X receiver is our main target. Now, because we're slightly to the right side of the field, we can put Y on a wheel route. If we were slightly to the left side of the field, we wouldn't be able to do that. So we definitely want to take advantage of X and Y. But we don't always want to go to the wide side of the field. We can easily go to the short side of the field as well. Even if we're on the right hash mark, we can still throw to RB. We can still throw to the curl to the B route. That still gives us 3 options to either throw to the wheel, take off with our quarterback, or hit the curl. It's still going to be very effective. If, for whatever reason, we're on, let's say, this wide side of the hash mark, we can still flip the play. We can flip any play and take advantage of the B route on the right side of the field as well. And because we are on the left side, because we flipped it, you know, we always want to make sure that we can put, when we're running this play, the running back on the wheel route as well. Because if, for whatever reason, we don't just want one route available to us on the right side, that would be kind of silly. So we're really only going to throw to this route when we're able to put the running back on a wheel on the same side. Also, you're going to see in the gameplay footage, unfortunately I don't know what happened to it all, but if the quarterback run isn't open, if for whatever reason the wheel isn't open, if for whatever reason that B route isn't open, or maybe we just make a bad read, the A route is going to be going right across the field, and again, we're going to be able to hit that with perfect accuracy. So it's all about route combinations. Because we're rolling out to one side, we've got 3 routes available and the quarterback run. This funky looking out route might seem like a risky option from time to time, but as you can see right here, our opponent clicks on as soon as possible, and he's still unable to make a play. Sometimes you can even mess with your opponents, as you see here. I know my opponent thinks I'm either going to take off with my quarterback or go to the wheel route, and I put him on a curl route and get an easy touchdown. Even there, I go to roll out, throw it to my wide receiver, and he kind of comes back a few yards, but we're still able to pick up the few yards that we need from time to time. Again, rolling out my wide receivers all the way to the other side of the field, and we're throwing with 100% complete accuracy, even in man-to-man coverage. And again here, covered man-to-man, our guy takes a couple steps back, breaks a tackle, and even without the broken tackle, we're still picking up yards. And just because we're rolling out all game trying to confuse the defense, we'll get into it a little bit more later, doesn't mean that we can't just drop back and throw a play as is from time to time. There, we ran it to the opposite side and threw the curl route. Here, we got a couple routes that are covered, and again, the tight end route and wide receiver out. If everything else is covered, this is just going to be an easy pass. The next play we're going to look at is called Y Trail. Now, somehow I lost the gameplay footage for this, but this is a very effective play, especially near the goal line. Our opponent's going to expect us to be rolling out to the right side of the field, the left side of the field, and that's what we're doing all game long. We're taking advantage of outside routes for the most part. Y Trail, whether we're near the goal line or whether we're near the middle of the field. After our opponent starts to adjust, they're like, hey man, he's always going to the outside. Even though it's going to be tough to stop both sides, Y Trail is the perfect over-the-middle play. So we can run it as is. We can still put RB on his wheel route. We can kind of roll out and we can throw to him. But it's a Y Trail, and everyone knows Y Trail. They know why it's effective because of the slant and the trail route. So here, we could either hit the slant over the middle of the field a lot of time, just right there if we drop back, or we can wait, depending on the play, obviously right there, he's covered up pretty good. But we can either hit this fullback like we did, or this trail route comes over the middle of the field, wide open. There's lots of stuff that we can do, either when rolling out or dropping back. So let's not forget about Y Trail. We can also, if we're blowing our opponent out, we can get kind of funky. We can put Y on a wheel. We got X on the curl, and the B route over the middle of the field on a slant is something that we can hit. So we just kind of roll out. And we're like, oh, what am I going to do? And then you just go and see. I mean, again, it's just silliness. Like, how is this a catch? This is why I'm talking. I started just messing around, being bored in practice mode, thinking to myself, like, I'm being silly. I'm rolling out. I'm throwing these stupid passes. How is that complete? This is what I'm thinking. Like, oh, that's just silly. Like, these players, whether it's that funky out route and wide receiver out, or whether it's like any of these routes, it doesn't matter. They get all funky and they adjust and they make the play. And this is a prime example. And a lot of the time, like I said, defenders just aren't even reacting. They're not doing anything. They're not picking the ball off. I mean, I'm never throwing interceptions with this. And a lot of the time is just because rolling out just makes it stupid. I mean, I don't really know what to say about it. But before I do get to the other 2 plays that we're going to run that are not strong close, that are really going to mess our opponent, I just want to say, let's not forget that we can drop back, and let's not forget we can run a regular offense. We could put X on a streak in our own end, and we can hit him deep. We could do all sorts of different things as well as rolling out. So let's get to these final 2 plays. Like I said at the beginning, all we're doing is taking advantage of any route that we can easily hit while rolling out. And one of those routes is out of the play PA Scissors. All we need to do is cancel the play action, put our fullback on a wheel, of course, roll out, and hit this shallow corner route run by our tight end, which quite frankly is more like the overly effective defunct out route. Now we can really run this offense 2 ways. One, we can just quick snap our opponents with our easy setups all game long, giving them no time to adjust. Or 2, we just stay patient, look at what the defense is presenting, call the proper play, and pick them apart with an offense a 3-year-old could run. Running the ball out of strong close is pretty self-explanatory. As long as we don't flip the play, we're going to have a counter weak to the left, an off tackle to the right, and a run audible down halfback dive up the middle. We're just going to take a look at the defense, and whatever side of the field is more favorable for us to run, That's what we're going to do. But we don't always want to run the counter weak to the left, and we don't always want to run an off tackle to the right. So the one thing I want you to get used to is every single play, even when you're passing the ball, I want you to flick the right stick to the left or the right so that your quarterback taps his ass and makes it look like we're running. If we're passing, this is going to open up routes downfield. If we're running an off tackle to the right side of the field, it might be more favorable for us to flip it to the left. It's a good run play to both sides of the field. We also want to take advantage of a counter to the right sometimes. It could just be very effective. So even if we're calling off tackle and it's to the right side of the field and we want to go to the right side of the field, just flick your analog stick and make them think that you might have flipped it. And just because we've been rolling out all game long, like I said earlier, our opponent's going to start to take chances. He's going to gamble. He's going to start over-adjusting. And once we see this, it doesn't mean that we can't just turn in to a regular drop-back offense and make them pay for their mistakes. Having the two audibles from jumbo heavy and a hurry-up offense is really the one thing that I think puts a scheme over the top. Not to mention, if we break the huddle in strong close and quickly audible to jumbo heavy, this is going to allow us to take advantage of the glitch that gets us to the line of scrimmage extremely quick and snap the ball before the defense even knows what hit them. This works extremely well because the passing play doesn't require any hot routes. You know, having to deal with this on top of strong close is like taking a punch to the jaw from Mike Tyson. Basically, you're going to be in pretty rough shape. Throwing this play at our opponent while running a hurry up is also very deadly. Now, if for some reason you haven't seen my jumbo heavy scheme, there's going to be a link in the description. You definitely need to check that out just so you can figure out how to throw these routes. This play is my #1 favorite play in the entire game. And while it is very good against zone defense, this is by far, without any question, the best man beater in the entire game. So if I see my opponent is playing man defense, then this is the play that I'm going to throw at him. But I also don't want to get carried away. You know, sure, it's my #1 play in the game, but if I use it too much, then I'm running a jumbo heavy scheme and not a strong close scheme. And we need to be smart about what we're trying to accomplish. Saving a play like this for key moments is going to greatly increase our chances of winning. And no, that doesn't mean every third or fourth down. Then it just becomes too obvious. And also, don't forget to mix in the halfback smash out of jumbo heavy as well from time to time. Just be smart about your play calling. You know, I can give you guys the ingredients, but it's really up to you to bake the cake and knowing when to call the plays and throw what routes and when to stay patient and also when to get to the line and quick snap. It's just really up to you guys. I understand that this is a reasonably long video, not to mention the fact that I'm telling you guys to check out a couple other videos on top of it. But it really all comes down to how much you want to win and if you're willing to take the time to do so. And running a hurry-up offense in NCAA 14 is a little bit trickier than in the past. Now, we only have access to certain formations that fit our personnel. Here, you can see while running strong close, we're actually able to access pistol weak twins. The play, tight end drag, is a play I already showed, so make sure you check the description to see how to run this play. It's going to make the scheme even more effective on top of strong close and jumbo heavy.